Hollywood is no stranger to drama, but few stories have captured the public's attention like the recent shocking revelations involving one of its most high-profile couples, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. Known for their dynamic personalities and high-profile careers, they have long been seen as a power couple, admired for their strength, openness, and the way they have navigated the pressures of fame together. But behind closed doors, the picture has not been as perfect as it seemed. What many fans didn't know is that their marriage has faced challenges that were carefully hidden from the public eye. According to insiders and reports, Jada Pinkett has recently uncovered details that have left the Hollywood world stunned. Over the years, she allegedly discovered multiple secret relationships involving Will Smith, relationships that he had managed to keep hidden despite the intense scrutiny that comes with being a celebrity. While their marriage has been open about many things, including their struggles and personal growth, these alleged affairs represent a turning point in how their private lives collide with public perception. Jada's journey to uncovering these secrets was reportedly gradual. Small hints and odd inconsistencies began to surface over the years. Messages, unusual behavior, and encounters that didn't quite add up. For someone who has always valued honesty and transparency, these discoveries were not only shocking, but deeply painful. Fans who admired the couple for their openness were now left wondering how much they truly knew about the lives of their favorite stars. As the story unfolded, it became clear that Jada Pinkett had discovered a side of her marriage she had never anticipated. According to insiders, over the years, Will Smith had allegedly engaged in multiple secret relationships, carefully keeping them hidden from both the public and his closest family members. While fans often saw a glamorous, united couple at events and on social media, behind closed doors, Jada reportedly faced moments of doubt and suspicion that slowly built into a deeper concern. It was not just the discovery of these relationships that shocked her, but also the realization of how long they had been concealed. Jada's response to these revelations was said to be a mixture of heartbreak, anger, and determination. Privately, she confronted Will, seeking honesty and clarity. These conversations were reportedly intense and emotional, as she tried to understand not only the details of the alleged affairs, but also why such secrets were allowed to persist for so long. Despite the pain, Jada is said to have approached the situation with strength, refusing to let betrayal define her or dictate her public image. She focused on protecting her emotional well-being while simultaneously seeking answers, highlighting her resilience in the face of personal turmoil. Publicly, Jada's reaction was subtle but noticeable. She reportedly dropped hints in interviews and through social media posts that fans quickly picked up on. Her words were measured, reflecting someone who had experienced betrayal but chose to address it with dignity rather than dramatics. This approach not only kept the situation professional, but also engaged audiences, as viewers speculated on what might have been happening behind the scenes. It became clear that this exposure was more than just a scandal, it was a turning point, challenging both her marriage and the public's perception of a seemingly perfect Hollywood couple. While Jada Pinkett was processing the emotional impact of the alleged affairs, Will Smith's side of the story also began to emerge, adding another layer to this complex and dramatic narrative. According to insiders, he was reportedly caught off guard by the exposure and initially struggled with how to respond. Privately, he attempted to apologize and explain his actions, acknowledging the mistakes and expressing regret for the hurt caused. These moments reportedly involved intense conversations with Jada, as he tried to rebuild trust and navigate the consequences of decisions that had remained hidden for years. Although remorseful, Will's position was complicated by the public scrutiny, making it difficult to fully address the situation without further fueling speculation. The public reaction to the revelations was immediate and intense. Social media platforms exploded with discussions, memes, and trending hashtags as fans around the world debated the details and shared their opinions. Some expressed deep sympathy for Jada, praising her strength and composure in handling such a personal betrayal. Others focused on Will, questioning how someone so admired could be involved in secret relationships. Media outlets quickly picked up the story, analyzing every social media post, interview, and public appearance for signs of tension or reconciliation. The combination of celebrity status, alleged scandal, and personal heartbreak created a storm of public attention that seemed impossible to escape. Despite the drama, both Jada and Will remained under the public eye, carefully managing their appearances and statements. Jada's measured approach and Will's attempts to address the situation privately highlighted the human side of a story that many initially saw as just another Hollywood scandal. Behind the headlines were two individuals navigating trust, forgiveness, and the pressures of fame, creating a narrative that felt real, relatable, and emotionally charged. This part of the story emphasized that even the most glamorous lives are not immune to personal struggles, and that the way one handles them can define their public image as much as the scandal itself. The emotional impact of these revelations on Jada Pinkett and Will Smith has reportedly been profound, affecting not only their marriage, but also their personal and professional lives. For Jada, the experience of uncovering secret relationships was deeply painful, challenging her sense of trust and security within the marriage. Despite this, she has reportedly remained strong and composed, focusing on self-care and maintaining her dignity in the public eye. Her emotional journey highlights the difficulty of balancing personal heartbreak with the pressures of fame, showing a side of celebrity life that is rarely visible to the public. For Will Smith, the aftermath has been equally challenging. Beyond facing criticism from fans and the media, he has reportedly had to confront the consequences of his actions in a very personal way. His attempts to apologize and make amends, while sincere, are complicated by the public nature of the situation. Each step toward reconciliation is closely watched, analyzed, and discussed by millions, making the process of rebuilding trust and repairing the marriage far more intense than it would be for most couples. Looking ahead, the future of their marriage remains uncertain. Some insiders suggest that this period of turbulence could either lead to a stronger, more honest relationship built on transparency and accountability, or it could mark the beginning of a permanent rift between them. The public, naturally, is divided, with some rooting for reconciliation and others anticipating separation. Regardless of the outcome, the experience has reportedly brought both Jada and Will a new understanding of themselves, their relationship, and the complexities of balancing personal life with the constant scrutiny that comes with being Hollywood icons. What makes this story compelling is not just the alleged scandal, but the very human emotions it reveals: trust, betrayal, forgiveness, and resilience. It serves as a reminder that even the most celebrated and admired relationships can face challenges, and the way individuals respond to adversity can define not only their personal journey, but also their public legacy. The emotional toll of these alleged revelations on Jada Pinkett has reportedly been significant. For someone who has always valued honesty, transparency, and emotional connection in her marriage, discovering that her partner may have engaged in secret relationships is not just a personal betrayal, it is a profound shock that challenges the foundation of trust she had built over the years. Sources suggest that she spent countless sleepless nights reflecting on the relationship, questioning not only Will's choices but also her own decisions, wondering whether she could have seen the signs earlier. Despite the heartbreak, Jada has been determined to maintain her composure, balancing her private pain with the public persona she has always projected. Her resilience has inspired fans, showing that strength often comes from facing difficult truths head-on, even when the world is watching. Will Smith, on the other hand, has reportedly faced his own emotional challenges. The pressure of navigating personal mistakes under constant media scrutiny has been immense. Beyond the private guilt and remorse, he has had to manage public perception, carefully considering every statement, social media post, and public appearance. Friends and insiders suggest that Will has spent significant time reflecting on his behavior, attempting to understand why these affairs happened and what they mean for his relationship with Jada. His journey is not just about repairing a marriage, but about understanding himself and taking accountability in a way that is visible to millions of people worldwide. The impact of these events has reportedly extended to their family life as well. Close friends mention that family gatherings, social events, and even work commitments have been tinged with tension as both Jada and Will navigate the emotional consequences together. Children, if any are present in the story, are indirectly affected, adding another layer of complexity to the situation. This emphasizes that even the most glamorous and successful lives are deeply human, with struggles and challenges that require emotional intelligence, patience, and empathy to overcome. Looking toward the future, there remains uncertainty. Some insiders speculate that this period of turbulence could become a turning point, either leading to reconciliation built on renewed trust and honest communication, or resulting in a permanent separation if the emotional wounds prove too deep to heal. What is clear, however, is that this experience is transformative for both Jada and Will. It has reportedly allowed them to confront difficult truths, reevaluate their priorities, and gain a better understanding of what they want from their personal and professional lives. The story's intrigue lies not just in the alleged scandal, but in the human emotions and complexities it uncovers. Trust, betrayal, forgiveness, resilience, and growth are all part of this narrative, making it relatable despite the high-profile Hollywood context. For viewers, it serves as a reminder that every relationship, no matter how admired or celebrated, faces challenges. How individuals respond to these challenges, whether with openness, reflection, and effort, or avoidance and secrecy, ultimately defines their personal journey and public legacy. As this fictional yet deeply engaging story comes to a close, the situation between Jada Pinkett and Will Smith reminds us of the complex reality behind public personas. What fans see on the red carpet, in interviews, or on social media is often only a fraction of the truth. Behind every smile and glamorous appearance, there can be struggles, secrets, and emotional battles that remain hidden from the world. In this case, Jada's courage to confront the alleged affairs and Will's effort to face the consequences highlight the human side of a story that could easily be reduced to mere gossip. For Jada, this chapter is about reclaiming her voice and emotional power. Her decision to expose the affairs carefully, respectfully, and with dignity shows strength, resilience, and a commitment to honesty that many admire. Will's journey, meanwhile, reflects accountability, regret, and the desire to make amends, emphasizing that mistakes, while painful, can also lead to personal growth when confronted openly. Together, their story becomes not just a tale of betrayal, but also a lesson about transparency, forgiveness, and the emotional labor that comes with navigating complicated relationships. The public reaction, the media scrutiny, and the social media buzz surrounding this story further highlight the pressures of fame. Every action is magnified, every word analyzed, and every emotional response dissected. Yet amidst all this attention, the real story is about two individuals trying to find their way through pain, reflection, and perhaps a path toward healing. It reminds viewers that celebrity lives, despite their glamour, face the same human challenges as anyone else, only under a microscope, for the world to see. As we close this chapter, the question remains, can trust be rebuilt, and can a marriage survive such revelations? While the answer is unknown, the story leaves us reflecting on the nature of honesty, the resilience required to face betrayal, and the courage it takes to move forward despite heartbreak. For fans and viewers, it is a reminder to value transparency, emotional awareness, and communication in every relationship, celebrity or not. If you found this story compelling, share your thoughts in the comments below. How would you handle a situation like this? Could a relationship recover after such revelations? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more engaging stories that explore the human side of fame, love, and life in Hollywood. Will Smith, on the other hand, is portrayed in a deeply human light. Behind the headlines and public speculation lies a man grappling with remorse, accountability, and the consequences of his choices. His struggle to repair trust, reconcile with Jada, and face the emotional fallout is a reminder that mistakes, no matter how serious, can lead to reflection, growth, and perhaps redemption. The story emphasizes that even for the most famous and successful individuals, relationships are fragile and require constant care, honesty, and effort to survive. The ripple effect of these revelations extends beyond the couple. Family, friends, and fans all become part of the narrative, each reacting in ways that reflect their own values, hopes, and judgments. Social media buzzes with debate, media outlets speculate endlessly, and fans passionately discuss the possible outcomes. This public attention adds an intense layer of pressure, making the journey toward understanding, forgiveness, or separation even more complicated. Yet, amidst all the speculation, the true story is deeply personal, about love, trust, heartbreak, and resilience behind the glitz of Hollywood. As viewers, we are left with an important reflection. Relationships, no matter how admired or seemingly perfect, face challenges that test the very core of trust and loyalty. The courage to confront truth, the strength to endure emotional pain, and the willingness to forgive or choose to move on are what ultimately define not just a relationship, but the people within it. Will the couple find a path to reconciliation, or will this chapter mark an end to what once seemed unbreakable? The answer remains unknown, leaving audiences captivated, reflective, and emotionally invested.